on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. And ngayon, pag-usapan na natin, Coach Mike, itong Mindoro Tamaraws, like you said, no? It's been somewhat a roller coaster for them to begin the year. But they've shown flashes of brilliance. But in this particular matchup against Caloocan, medyo kinapos sila in the second half.
Actually, they led pa in the first quarter, 2019. Fell behind though by as much as 15 points. And Joseph Cederifa, unfortunately, was the only Tamaraw in double digits with 14 points. No other guy was able to do it. And so those 17 offensive rebounds and resulting in 16 chance points was pretty good, but not enough rim protection to guard the paint scoring, especially in transition, as they are a minus 18 in paint points in the paint and a minus 8 in fast break points. Gotta do a better job of defending against transition, lalo na against Ryan's Vanguards tonight.
But they've shown that they are capable of mounting an upset. Talking about the Mindoro Tamaraws, they will square off against the unbeaten Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. When in their last game, Coach Mike, they visited Manila in front of that historic Rizal Memorial Coliseum, and just from the get-go, asserting their dominance in the first quarter.
As if introducing themselves to the Rizal Memorial Coliseum venue that, you know, we are the Rice Vanguards and this is how we play. Robbie Celis had 19, Jammer Hamito had 15, JC had 13, Ryan had 11, Byron Villas had 10. It really was magnificent shooting brought by the complete board control and paint touches and points by the Rice Vanguards. Wouldn't be surprised about that. A lot of help from the bench though. 63 bench points led by Hamito's 15 and Ryan Costello's 11. And so if this is going to be a run on the bench, I say it's going to be tough for Mindoro to compete against the really deep roster of Nueva Ecija, but Mindoro's going to fight it out.
And now let's get the show on the roll. Let's turn you over to Richard Campos.
Luigi Natada. At guard number 5, Axel Inigo. Also at guard number 3, Ino Comboy. Playing center number 6, Riego Bam Bam Camalinda. The head coach is Rodney Santos. Assistant coaches Ernest Alao, John Ferriols, EJ File, Robert De La Rosa. Assistant team manager Ray Alao. Team manager Sandro Norte. Team owner is Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. And now, the MPBL Season 4 champion, your Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards Megabet. At forward number 8, Robbie Celis. Coming in at center number 14, Will McCaloney. At forward number 51, Big Bang Toto, Byron Villarreal. And from the guard line, the Marcelino twins, JB and JC. Their head coach is Don Dulay, assisted by Rob Wainwright, Matt Macalindal, Arnold Oliveros, Jonathan Uiloan, and Rick Season. Assistant team manager Jen Dignatice, the team mentor Raymond Dizon, coaching consultant Bon Monta, team owners Ivan Cuevas.
All right, our starting 5 is brought to you by 1xBet. Silipin natin ang starting units ng magkabilang kupunan. Mindoro starts off with Axel Inigo, Ino Comboy, Bam Bam Gamalinda, Jonas Tibayan, and Luigi Natada. Sa panig naman ng Nueva Ecija, that lethal backcourt tandem of the Marcelino twins, JV and JC, and up front, Will Macaloni, Robbie Celis, and Byron Villarreal. First tip going to the side of the Mindoro Tamaraws. They're playing in front of the opposing home court in their third consecutive game, Coach Mike. Nakita natin, no? They won against Binyan in the Alonte Sports Arena, and then nabigo sila sa Caloocan in front of the Caloocan Sports Complex. So they're trying to go 2-1 on that particular trip.
That is right, and you know you gotta replicate the wins, the win that they had last time. Itong speaking of Mindoro, pero they're gonna need everybody to contribute here, especially on a very deep roster team of Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, who incidentally is playing with a really good-looking new jersey today. I love this color.
New threads to, no?
New threads. This is bago. New threads yan.
Ano ba yan? Design ba ni Boss Benson yan?
Oh, Benson de la Paz is watching from Palayan City.
Oo.
At siya yung nagpapakita kanina ng logo at the start of the starting 5 introductions for Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Of course, also of Bulacan TV, talking about Benson.
Meanwhile, Bam Gamalinda introducing himself here in Palayan City. That play has been a thing of art by Robbie Celis and Will Macaloni.
And the couple of years that these guys have played alongside each other, of course, last year was the very first time that Will Macaloni actually, partnered with Robbie Celis and the rest of the guys. It now has become very fluid.
Ganda nung pasa ni JC. Macaloni back to JC Marcelino. Against Natada, fadeaway jumper. No good. Ball ends up with Axel Inigo. Natada drives left. Reverse, gets the basket plus a foul.
Well, that's one way to attack the defense of Rob Celis. Much as you love the footwork of Rob Celis, in that situation, first he got beat going the baseline, and Natada really just using the rim as additional protection on that shot.
And he was pretty decisive in terms of going straight to the rack. Walang alinlangan. And a chance for a three-point play here to give Mindoro a three-point lead. Shot is good after that friendly bounce.
Natada played for about 2 minutes in their last game against Caloocan, did not score.
Celis had to adjust mid-air. Lays it up and in.
While on the other end, Rob Celis played 16 minutes and scored a lot. That win against Manila.
5-4 po ang ating score. So Mindoro ay abante lang ng isang puntos dito. Foul call before that. Oh no, they count it. They count the basket.
Basket's good.
No. I think
Is it?
sideline inbound. I think motion ng referee parang
Parang
may
basket, yeah.
So foul on the floor. See here. Inigo. And this is what you like Mindoro early doing. No? They're really challenging yung depensa nitong Nueva Ecija. Going downhill. This time, Comboy though, jacks up a three, no good. Marcelino lobs it up. Celis barely getting it. But recovers nicely for the deuce.
We keep on talking about yung skill and the talent that Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards have. But you have to understand, everything starts defensively for these Rice Vanguards. That time around, that basket by Rob Celis, it started on the defensive end of the floor, where they got that ball and they ran it the other way, testing naman the defense of their opponents, in this case, the Tamaraws.
And second time, they located a big underneath. Yung early break, no?
Yeah.
Yung tinitake advantage dito ng Nueva Ecija. Playing for the second time this season on their home floor. Last time they were here, they were able to beat Pasilan as that downhill attack by JC Marcelino is successful. Comboy answers with a finger roll.
And so far, the way that they've scored really for the Tamaraws is do a quick decision to drive on the baseline and catch that defense late.
Great move by JV. Celis against Jonas Tibayan. The spin inside. Tibayan.
I have always asked this. Do you know of any other player in the MPBL who's got a smooth footwork other than Rob Celis? I mean, he just keeps on staying in control.
Play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet.
And that's why it's tough to guard him. The moment that he picks up the ball, which is for the most part right there near the lane or in the paint, he still stays in control and gives himself an extra second or two to make a decision whether to, make a shot attempt or pass it off to the other guy. And as soon as he passes it, immediately relocates to the next spot that's open.
You saw his averages there. Double so far. 18.5 points, 10.5 rebounds. Actually, 10 rebounds. Samahan mo pa dyan, 6 assists per game. Meanwhile, Axel Inigo able to sneak in and score for the Tamaraws.
What you love naman of Bam Gamalinda, you know, very able passer from the top. One of the few big men that actually have good vision.
Celis fade away. Oh, good rebound by JV. JC receives the pass. Catch and shoot. Bike bank. Toto for free.
Oh man.
Byron Villarias finding the range early. Good sign if you're Nueva Ecija.
All the starters have scored except for JC. Is that correct? Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, their one-stop shop appliances. One of the long-tenured players para dito sa Rice Vanguards, Byron Villarias.
Sorry, I stand corrected. It's only JV that hasn't scored yet for the Rice Vanguards on the starting five. Orion's in the floor right now.
Tibayan, that's a nifty move, getting that inside hand layup.
Yeah. That catch and attack ploy by Mindoro Tamaraw so far working early here. Everybody who gets that ball immediately puts that ball on the floor and attacks. Ryan with a three.
And Ryan Costello gets the crowd into a frenzy here.
And why not? I mean, Ryan was 3 out of 3 from beyond on his 11-point production off the bench from their last game. And it always is good to see Ryan Costello going back to his old ways. From last year, he was a secondary guard, the third group guard, if you may. But today, you know, he's been really good.
Off that gorgeous feed from JC Marcelino. Ryan Costello. And him and Byron Villarias forming that lethal three-point shooter combination for Nueva Ecija. Mintis nga lang yung right corner three-point attempt ni Byron.
Oh, that's a travel.
Sedorifa, turnover.
Kita mo yung frustration ni Bam Gamalinda. He knew that they had numbers but really couldn't finish. You saw the coaching staff of the Tamaraws. Coach Rodney alongside Coach John Ferriols and Coach Alaw.
Macalone this time meets Bam Gamalinda. Last line of defense. Ball ends up with Ino Comboy. Almost a steal. Tibayan able to recover. Ooh. Blocking foul against Rob Celis. Much to the chagrin of Coach Don Dulay. Celis still on the floor. Caught an arm from Jonas Tibayan.
That was two things. Rob was moving, but there was an arm extended by Jonas Tibayan. I think that's what they're alluding to. That's why I feel they're looking. Are they looking to challenge this? I don't think they are.
Medyo out of control.
Oh yeah.
And I think Coach Don has a case here.
Yeah, I think he does. Because Rob didn't really cross his path. It was the arm that actually caused the contact.
So first challenge of the ball game here between Mindoro and Nueva Ecija. So initial call was blocking foul against Robbie Celis. And now we'll pause for a break. We'll return for the result of this challenge.
The challenge made by Nueva Ecija is successful. The call was overturned. Offensive foul on Jonas Tibayan.
Without any question.
Second.
Successful challenge by Coach Don.
It was the arm that caused that contact. He hasn't even got into the path of Jonas Tibayan yet.
Yun yung key doon eh.
Yeah.
Pwede kasing nangyari,
Yeah.
nauna yung blocking foul.
Yeah, and they're asking for an unsportsmanlike because
It was above the shoulder.
above the shoulder, right? And it was, well, forearm on the face.
Ito, tuloy ulit tayo dito. Actually, this is a high-scoring game so far in quarter number 1. 16-11 as we approach the 4-minute mark. JC facing that blitz. Celes crossover.
man.
Oh, almost. Ethan Galang ends up with it.
That low cross though.
Inigo finds
There
the
you
former
go.
UAP MVP,
Yeah.
banging bodies with
Right.
Will Macaloni.
This is a matchup that everybody wants.
Bono, no good. Bagsak si Byron.
Look at that. Rob Sell is helping Byron up.
Costello gets sent back by Ino Comboy. Inigo falls down, pero mukhang nahatak siya doon ni Toto.
I think what happened was pabagsak na si... Was that Ino?
Oh, si Ino.
Oh yeah. Pabagsak na siya eh. Inawakan siya ni Byron.
Si John Wilson will check in off the bench. He will replace Byron Villarreas. Baseline inbound para dito sa Mindoro. Ethan Galang. Hand off to Ino Comboy.
He's gonna launch this.
One-on-one against
Told
Celes.
you.
Nothing but net on that three.
Told you. He wanted that switch. And once it happened, tried to lull Rob Celis to sleep before he actually made that shot.
Lead down to 2. Pocket pass.
man.
Macaloni gets the hoop and the harm.
May mga play pa na talaga na nagde-develop pa lang. You know how it's gonna end up. Just a perfect read right there. Little short roll once Ken Bono got very busy with, was that Ryan Costello? And Will Macaloni just finished. And look at this, that lull to sleep, forcing that 3 in from Ino Comboy.
That's a hooper right there. Ino Comboy. Macaloni, 4 points, 2 rebounds.
Parang ganun yung video mo dati yung
Ano?
pinilalal ka to sleep. Tapos tinira mo ng tres.
Ako ba yun?
Si Dino Lee yata yung tinira.
Hindi ako yun.
Anyway, ikaw yun.
Isa sa mga anchor natin dito yun. Hindi ako yun.
Anyway, ikaw yun.
Ethan Galang, pull up. Left it short. Rebound controlled here by Christian Manaytay.
Yeah. I love this pickup of Christian Manitay for the Rice Vanguards. It just introduced a new facet on the bigs rotation. A lot of versatility too.
Macaloni draws closer. Rebound, Ino Comboy. Mindoro just down by 5. Comboy navigating against Ryan Costello. Falls down. Bono for 3.
Oh.
Good!
Ba talaga ang range din ni Ken Bono? Ano? You know, a post-up guy that can release it from 3.
19-17 as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Jesper Ayay answers back with a 3 of his own plus a foul. 4-point play opportunity for the former LPU Pirate.
And just really sensational shooting from 3 by both these teams. See this move right here. That little zoom action ending up with Jesper Ayay sinking it from 3. May kasama pang free throw.
Chance to make this a 6-point ball game. Tama, no? Tres yun. So, it should be 22-17 right now.
Ganda ng field goal shooting ng parehong team, lalo na sa 3 points. 2 out of 3 for Nueva Ecija for 66% clip. 40% naman para dito sa Mindoro, 2 out of 5.
23-17. 2 minutes remaining here in the opening frame. Jun Manzo is in. So he is subbed in late here in quarter number 1. Sedu Rifa. Tres yung pinakawalan niya doon.
And just taking off from where he left off. 3 of 4 in the last game. from the three itong si Rifa. That's part of his 14-point output.
Basket and one for the Rice Vanguards.
I told you, this pickup of Christian Manaytay brings in a lot of versatility to that big spot. Mobile big that can run the floor and even put the ball on the floor and, create. It's a tough situation to be going up against Tagalang. The guy's bulkier than he is, but used foot speed to try and beat him to that open spot.
And boy, those two guys are familiar with each other just last season in the UAP.
Yeah, agree.
Manaytay from UST, Galang from UE. And here's Galang with the response.
And this new blood of players have actually really infused a different type of energy, not just to their respective teams, but even to the season as well.
John Wilson trying to join the party. Gets his own miss. Doesn't get the friendly roll, but Jamaramito is there for the cleanup.
Jamaramito, one of the more colorful personalities in Nueva Ecija. And for whatever team that he plays, you love watching him in social media, but on the floor, he's all business.
And they get a stop. Nueva Ecija wants to pad onto the
Oh,
lead.
man.
Turns the corner. Jesper Ayay lays it up and in.
Literally just blew by the defense of Ken Bono.
Lead up to 8, 30-22. Galang, quick three, short. 2-for-1 opportunity. Here's Jamito.
Oh, that's a travel.
And Jamito traveled.
Yeah, that's a travel.
Jamaramito acquired in the off-season. Played for Jensen last year.
Yeah.
Under Coach Elvis Tolentino.
Ken Bono goes out, and earlier you saw a glimpse of Coach Don Dulay and his coaching staff. And Coach Don Dulay has really done an excellent job of getting these players to buy in since last season.
Galang against Manaytay again. Gets past him but could not finish. Last shot time if the Rice Vanguards opt to do so.
Yeah.
It will stay on their side of the floor with 11.7 seconds remaining here.
And Coach Don Dulay reminding his guys clock management. I mean, you only have, almost 12 seconds remaining. Time for the last shot of the quarter.
Manaytay at the elbow. John Wilson, pull-up jumper, no good. 2.2 seconds remaining. Still enough time para dito sa Tamaraos. Manzo, he can hit the shot, I'm telling you. Pero lumapit, takes it, almost. Asking for a foul, non-given, and that's gonna do it for the first 10 minutes of game action. What a wild sequence we've had here. And the Rice Vanguards, though, just pouring it on there, Coach Mike.
And really, it starts off with, really good shooting percentage, control of the boards, second chance points, and a lot of help from the bench in all those categories. Clearly an advantage para dito sa Rice Vanguards. And so, are the Tamaraw still in a good place? I think they are, but you got to do more. You're only down 8.
Ino Comboy was sensational in that opening frame, but Will Macaloni providing some muscle underneath for the Rice Vanguards. They lead at the end of quarter number 1, 30-22.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Kanipaya. Para sa 100% Pinas, 50 ka.
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Back at the Nueva Ecija Coliseum for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis. Coach Rodney Santos is 70% into infusing his system. Lost against Caloocan, won against Binyan. Still trying to find that right balance going against stronger contenders. Their major weakness today will be their front line, obviously. Having Wilmac, Jam Hamito, and Robbie Celis in the Nueva lineup. Gamalinda doing okay, Ken Bono as well. But to know more about what they can do to strengthen this weakness, I talked to the biggest man inside this Coliseum, Coach EJ File. Sabi ko, Coach, pag ganito, ano ba dapat ginagawa? He said, pag-aralan ang weakness. Saan ba sila mas mahina na angle? Meron at merong mahahanap. Kung wala, box out na lang. Through experience, he knows na may lusot kahit papano. But so far, their backcourt is also doing well. Ken, Coach Mike.
Thank you very much. That was Mika Abisamis, our courtside reporter here. And alam mo, kung ikaw yung nasa loob dito ng venue, hindi mapagkakailang hindi mo makikita si Coach EJ File dyan eh.
Oo, grabe. Sa tangkad ba naman ni Coach EJ? But, you know, the messages that were relayed by Coach EJ File to Mika were on point. Sometimes you really gotta look at the things that they're not doing well, and you gotta influence them doing that.
Great shooting display by both teams. Look at June Manso go, lays it up and in, plus a foul.
Right. But that's a tough, I guess, situation at that point. June Manso, you think you already have him on his weak hand, but still's got that strong upper body strength to finish to the cup.
You know, it's a great thing for Mindoro that they recognize their weakness early. They know their strengths. You know, guys like June Manzo, averaging 9 points per contest. Ethan Galang is there, Joseph Sedorio. So they have a lot of guards and wings that can really wreak havoc. Ino Combo is also there, as we'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. So ito, naibaba na nga nila yung lamang. Down to 5. 5-0 start for the Tamaraws here, and they force a turnover.
Yeah. Tsaka ano, importante lang dyan, possession per possession lang. If you're going up against a really good team in Nueva Ecija, you know, just keep it possession per possession. Offensively, play to your strength. Defensively, force them to their weakness.
Manzo asking a pick from Bienes. Turns the corner against Culyar. Comboy, the hesitation.
That was too deep.
Jayai lost control of it momentarily, but he was fouled. That is against Mindoro. June Manso, the guilty party there.
Yeah. Tsaka pag pinag-usapan mo kanina, staying on that report of Mika about Coach EJ saying, you know, you gotta force them into weakness. The thing that makes it tough for Mindoro is that, looking at the stat lines, the only stat line that they are so much better, there's actually two. Free throw makes, percentage, and offensive rebound. But that's barely on their side. And everything else has been, you know, purely Nueva Ecija. Nueva Ecija is so good a defensive team that they allow only 74 points for their opponents. Whereas at Mindoro, they allow roughly about a 77, which is pretty good. But you got to contend not just on the defensive side of the floor, but even the offensive prowess of the Rice Vanguards.
Jesper Ayay already has 9 points after that 3-point conversion, and the Rice Vanguards get a stop. Up by 8, 35-27. 8 minutes remaining here in the second period, and a foul again against Mindoro. Second foul against June Manzo. Still early here in quarter number 2. Jesper Ayay came in averaging just below 4 points per contest, providing a spark off the bench. Culyar whips a pass to Manaytay. He can hit that shot, and he does! 6 points for Manaytay.
Did we talk about how much value this guy brings in? Not just the inside presence, including the range. These are really just the new age big men of basketball nowadays, including here in the MPBL.
Nueva Ecija showing its firepower early.
Look at this now. He's going to try and attack going the post, but good defense there by Andrews.
Nasundutan, pero counter steal by Nueva Ecija. Ayaay recovers. Shot is short. Ball ends up with June Manzo after that galang rebound. The lob to Andrews. And running out of space. And what action-packed game we're witnessing so far here early between Mindoro and Nueva Ecija. And the Rice Vanguards ahead by 11, 38-27.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Mindoro trying to keep in step. As we check out their next 3 games. Pahirap ng pahirap ang kanilang schedule. March 27, laban sa San Juan Knights. And then they begin the month of April. They will take on the Rizal Centro Mall Golden Coolers. And on April 5, kalaban nila ang Parañaque Patriots. That's gonna be on their home floor, their game against Parañaque. So something to look forward to as we head back to Mindoro on the 5th of April.
And I think I guess that speaks also to the other teams. Pahirap ng pahirap because ang daming mga bagong mga players that have really, shored up the potential of each team. Elevator right there.
Wilson. We send it down low to Jammer Hamito. Posting up against
Good
Bienes. Holding his ground. Ramirez. Gets it back from Manzo. Goes at JC Culyar. Ball will stay on their side with 16 on their shot clock.
And you can see that RJ Ramirez is really raring to go and to start a really good season this year. Flex action right here.
Malinda sa bandang taas. Manzo attacks, kicks it out. Same spot for Bienes. Same result, a miss. Tapigan ng bola. Andrews ends up with it. Manzo will settle things down for Mindoro. Andrews, drive to the baseline. Challenging, Ayay! The adjustment and the score galing dito kay Andrews.
Ashan Andrews has so far really been making a name for himself. I mean, yung mga bigs na nakakasabay niya, hindi kadalian yan, pero ang sipag and has enough strong body to finish in contact.
Mindoro wants to make their run. They've chopped this lead down to single digits. Manzo, kick out. Bienes, this time, top of the key, free. Off the heel. Gamalinda ends up with it and scores underneath.
Tracking down missed threes. Gamalinda just did the right thing. And so far, Bienes, in as much as we know that he's a really good three-point shooter, pretty decent, right now he's struggling.
Manaytay, this time from mid-range. Very effective scorer here for Coach Don Dulay.
That's right. That's what makes the offense pretty tough to cover for Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. They do have a good mixture of inside-out, and if you compare averages between these two teams, it's a plus 25 advantage, points in the paint for the Rice Vanguards over the Tamaraws.
Bienes gets past Manaytay for the layup. First 2 points for Brandon Bienes.
John Wilson, kanina kita mo sumisenyas ng switch after that move. You gotta give it up. Good pass.
Wilson capitalizes. Long 2 from the former MPBL MVP.
Sometimes to locate shooters, you gotta know who, what, when, and where. Since it's John Wilson, you know he's in the open space, and you know he's immediately gonna take it. You gotta give it up to him.
Bienes finally cashes in from deep.
Bienes is what, 1 out of 4 from there?
Oh,
Yeah.
5 straight points para sa kanya.
Pero once na makita niya bumasket yun, most probably, he's a strict shooter also. Just like Ethan Galang. Oh, what a pass!
Great slide by Christian Manaytay. Already with 10 points. Perfect shooting from the field. 4 guys for Nueva Ecija about to check in at the next whistle. 8-point lead for the Rice Vanguards. Manzo against Manaytay.
Good dive.
Andrews recovers, sends it to Ramirez. Line drive does not
Oh
work.
man, again, Ashon Andrews.
Ball still in play. Ramirez again. Matutulis yung kanyang mga pinapakawalan dito.
Yep. Pero ibang klase yung sipag ni Ashon Andrews. I mean, he's not getting the ball on the post. He's not getting so much touches offensively. But you love his energy in trying to locate those 50-50 balls, including the rebounds. Again, another
Oh my
three.
goodness! Christian Manaytay, 13 points, 5 of 5 shooting from the field.
In a pocket tournament before the season that the Rice Vanguards played, you could already see the kind of talent that they got in Manaytay.
Wilson gets Manzo out of position, gets enough space to get that basket from the elbow.
Not much they can do wrong right now. And if you're going to stick to that report of forcing your weakness, right now I don't think there's any weakness yet.
Mindoro actually shooting 48%. Madadagdagan pa yan after that basket by RJ Ramirez. But Nueva Ecija is shooting about 54% from the field.
That is right. Both teams actually really good shooting overall, except for the 28-66% respectively for Mindoro and Nueva Ecija, which the Rice Vanguards have clearly an advantage because of those made threes. Good pass.
We saw the first miss of Christian Manaytay earlier.
That's a foul.
Oh, that's a third against June Manzo. That's big.
Yeah, that is huge. I mean, you draw out June Manso in the second quarter with still 2 and 10 remaining. That's big.
And Nueva Ecija remains ahead, 49-38. We'll pause for a break.
Hello sa lahat ng nanonood ng MPBL and gusto ko lang kayong invite yung mga taga-Abra dyan na i-invite ko kayo sa Abra home game namin sa March 29, kalaban namin Jensan. And hopefully makita ko kayo doon, sana mag-support kayo and hopefully mabigay namin yung panalo para sa inyo.
Amin nga kakailan, may nga taga-Abra, ininbitaran may da kayo amin nga umayagboyan no 29 ni Jay UA Gym Bangged. Kita-kits guys!
All right, that's going to be on Saturday. And Nueva Ecija will be part of that. They will take on the Val City Magic, followed by the Manila Batang Quiapo versus the Cebu Classic. And then the main game, Abra will try to defend their home court for the very first time this season. They will square off against the Jensan Warriors.
Sabado, Governor Andres Bernes. Ganda ng gym na yun.
You will be there.
And you will watch?
Yes.
I thought you're going.
Papaalam muna ako sa asawa ko. Malayo-layo yun eh.
Ako hindi na ako nagpapaalam sa mga ganyang pagkakataon. Alam mo kung bakit?
Oh.
Sinasama ko na lang.
Ayun. Maganda dyan.
Magandang sagot.
Sige, sasama ko din minsan. Ha?
Yeah.
Pwede naman eh.
Come fly with me.
Meanwhile, 49-38 po ang ating talaan with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah.
Coach Rodney Santos has done a solid job as their new head coach para dito sa Mindoro.
Yes.
The slasher.
And you like that he actually shifted the scheme of Mindoro, who last year was primarily really a triangle offense team. Now he shifted it to fit the personnel. And you're seeing a lot of ball screens, a little 4-out action.
2 minutes remaining here in in the second quarter. Andrews sends it back to Ramirez.
Good kick.
Yenes laban kay Macaloni. Gamalinda, that familiar jumper does not
Right.
work though.
Right.
Villarias, miss. Rebound, Marcelino.
Oh,
It's
wow.
JC, the find underneath to Will Macaloni.
Iba talaga pag may vision kang pumasa. I mean, right on the instance that he got that ball, he knew where he wanted it to end up, in the hands of Will Macaloni.
Steal again. Here we go, Marcelino twins. Give and go. Foul off the pass, no basket.
Well, those turbo jets, when they turn on, it's hard to stop. And it starts with the defensive side of the floor. I mean, the tap by the Twins and then the open floor action. Somebody had to foul him, so doesn't end up in the highlight reel.
Ang bira mo makita, kasing bilis nung takbo ng bola yung mga paa ng mga player. That's the mom of JC and JV watching.
Oh, right.
And you all know the story of their mom. As we see Will Macaloni miss on that shot. A very inspiring story, for the Marcelino twins. They grew up in Olongapo City, Coach Mike. And literally, nahirapan sila, in terms of, putting food on the table. But that was their mom that was really responsible for that during their early childhood years. And boy, those two players have turned out to be quite a gem para dito sa Nueva Ecija.
Boy, the love of a mom. Whew. Bigat nun. That's nice.
Lakers doesn't lead para dito sa Nueva Ecija.
1-on-1, they're gonna milk this. Oh, man.
JV slides in. Dino Comboy sends it to Axel Inigo. Di niya nakita si
Ooh, sayang.
JC. Or actually, that was JV.
Pero binantayan rin ni JV kasi alam niya, he's got a shot from the outside.
So this is gonna be 3 free throws para dito kay Axel Inigo.
Oh, tsaka si Axel, walang pag-alinlangan. There's the twins' mom, right? Boy, you just have to tip your hat off to the way how she took care of the twins.
First free throw good para dito kay Axel. 83% from the line this season. Played for the Pasay Voyagers. Had a key role there for
Right.
Coach Keith Martin.
Right, partnered with Lawrence and Warren. Really just fell short last season, but he really was a vital piece in that guard spot for Coach Marlon Martin.
And they lost to Nueva Ecija in the playoffs last year.
Right.
And actually the year before that din eh.
Yeah, actually that's right. And they met, I think they was in Pangasinan where we covered, me and Javi, and that was a good game too.
That was also a good move from Will Macaloni.
Final shot of the quarter here.
Nueva Ecija up by a dozen, 53-41.
Ooh!
Nakasundot si Villarias sa likod.
Oh, wow!
Foul against Big Bang Toto. Could not believe the call. Only the third team foul though against the Rice Vanguards. They have a timeout by the Mindoro Tamaraos. They will try to map out the last play of the half as they're still down here by 12 points. 53-41. We'll pause for break. Next 3 games para sa Nueva Ecija, March 29. That's going to be in Benguet. They will take on the Val City Magic. April 5, they will go up against the Davao Occidental Tigers. And in Caloocan, they will visit the Caloocan Batang Kaangkalu. Great set of games in store for them. You know, muli po, pinabati natin ng happy 11th birthday si Miss Sayan Septimo, the daughter of our game producer. Walang iba kundi si Sir Ryan.
At patuloy akong humahanga sa pangalan na Sayan, na ang pangalan ng tatay niya ay Ryan. Ang sabi nito, ang nakaisip daw noon, ICGP.
Comboy, that's a big shot. And that shot made this a single-digit ball game to end the half. And maybe that's just what Mindoro needs to push them further here. But Will Macaloni and the rest of the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards putting on a clinic.
To Formento. Mone on the move. Blocked by his idol.
Not in my house, young man.
A great setup job by Formento. And Mone challenges Santos, and Arwin says no.
I wonder what was going through his mind as he went up for that shot.
Inalpal ni Arwin. Harap-harapan. Category din naman itong team na to, no? With
Wow. Elgin and Dai really taking it to Will Macaloni here.
my
goodness.
Elgin and Daya.
I see the face of Will Macaloni after that shot. He's not having it.
In and out, setting up that spin. Wala ang depensa.
Jensen still got that chance on that last possession.
6 seconds. Clemente, he will fire. No. Agawan sa bola. Concepcion! Yes! Archie Concepcion!
Wow!
What an effort there for Archie Concepcion. It's been a frustrating evening for him, but coming up with the goods in the final minute of this ball game, they leave him alone. Nobody tracking down that basketball except Archie Concepcion. Slips away from Bringas. And a strong finish para kay Archie. Pasay regains the lead, 45-43. Serrano in a rush.
That's a foul.
Foul and the basket
That's a foul.
from Encho Serrano.
Attacking back, loses the basketball, spin move. Look at the strength, the upper body strength, the focus. They say your eyes make layups, Sidelf. Look at the concentration even after falling down.
Pingoy, 7 seconds remaining. Serrano on the move, trying to finish on the other side. Tolentino spins. Yes! To beat the buzzer. Neil Tolentino, and just in the nick of time, what a pass though from Michael Cañete. Ganda ng pass.
ganda.
How it was able to find its way to Neil Tolentino, I don't know. Because there were 4 white shirts there.
Right.
Look at this, the ball fake, and then he issues the pass.
Pang klase yun, ang ganda.
Oo. Top 10 place.
Oo.
Init ng kamay ni Mark Cruz.
Oo. Pampito ba yun?
Yeah.
7.
Cruz peels away. He's fouled! Oh, wow! Mark Cruz! 8 3-pointers.
Oh my, Mark Cruz. Ibang klase yun.
And look at this. Dribbling away from trouble. Steps back, gets fouled, and knocks down the 3. A big-time play para kay Mark Cruz.
And you have all right to count it down, Mark Cruz.
This ball almost came up with the steal. Austria, spin, nabitawan ng bola. Here comes Tabi on to Victoria. Tabi
Beautiful
gets it
pass.
back. Beautiful play for Pasay.
That's the beauty of having a Lawrence Victoria. You have somebody who can create not only for his own shot but also for his teammates. Beautiful touch pass.
Pese ang hinahabol dito ng Risers. Bringas sets the screen. Carl drives past Jonicio. Carl with a reverse. Pretty finish at the basket for Carl Bringas.
Wow, where did that shot come from? He was in real deep.
But take a look at this reverse.
Man.
Pretty finish at the basket para kay Carl Bringas.
Pang klase yung tapos na yun.
Here's Napoles. Atake ni Jore. Wild shot. No good. Roca Curva. Roca Curva! Doing the MJ.
Ilista mo na.
You know, there's something about this move. Okay? The switch in the hands.
Right,
It's iconic.
right.
Reminds you of the great MJ.
Well, it wasn't exactly the same.
Mintis, 4 seconds. Caballero has time. 3-point. Oh! Oh my goodness! What a game! What a game! Keanu Caballero! Keanu Caballero with a 3 from half court to win it! Wow! What a finish! An absolute stunner! It's a 3-pointer for Keanu Caballero from half court. Bang! Oh my goodness! MPBL basketball at its finest. Keanu Caballero wins it for the Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers. This was the ending that this game deserved. Keanu Caballero.
What a game.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Manny Pacquiao. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Our halftime score, 44 for the Mindoro Tamaraws, 53 for the home team, the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. They seek their second win dito sa Nueva Ecija Coliseum. And, well, to break down the first half, Coach Mike, both these teams shooting at a blistering pace. Mindoro tried to keep in step. They were down by as many as 13 points, but big three by Comboy, making this a manageable lead heading into the third quarter.
And this is a good shooting game. 47-51%, that's pretty good. It's just a +5 attempts para sa Nueva Ecija. A lot of that really coming from the turnovers that they forced when they got more points from turnovers. The rebounds have pretty much been the same. The assists, clearly, side of Nueva Ecija has more baskets coming off those ping passes. And yung bench, yan ang pinakamalaking disparity so far. Where are the points coming from? A lot of it is from the bench, and Manaytay has led that way for Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguard. Samantalang Mindoro Tamaraws, it's really been more of Bienes and June Manso adding the bench contributions.
John Wilson also joining in, and a lot of players contributing para dito sa Rice Vanguards. Ino Comboy leading the way for Mindoro with 8 points, 5 apiece for Axel Inigo, June Manzo, and Brand Bray Bienes. Actually, sa Mindoro din, dami din nag-aambag. For Nueva Ecija naman, Christian Manaytay made his first 5 field goals for a total of 13 points. Ayaay with 9, Will Macaloni with 7. Robbie Celis, he did his damage early on in the first quarter, has 6 points.
He was the one who set the tone, actually, offensively para dito sa Rice Vanguards.
Same starting unit for Coach Don Dulay to begin the third quarter. Villarias met by Sedurifa. The lob inside. Celis, no foul. Gets the putback though, making this an 11-point lead once again.
That's why it's tough to go up against Rob Celis. He always stays in control inside the paint. And he's able to go to the next layer of the offense, shoot, pass, or score. He's able to do that because of his control.
5 on the floor for Coach Rodney Santos. Ethan Galang, who jacks up a 3. Results into a miss. June Manso, Ino Comboy, Joseph Sedurifa, and Bambam Gamalinda. So this is a small lineup para dito sa Mindoro.
Yeah, going small ball. Most probably trying to match up against the pace at which the Rice Vanguards have been playing. The way that they close out and play the length of the floor, you got to be up to it.
So guys like Ethan Galang, Bambam Gamalinda, normally playing the 3 and the 4. So parang 4 and 5 sila dito, no? So
Right.
Gamalinda trying to keep in step. And that basket will count plus a foul para kay Robbie Celis, who now has 10 points.
Look at the shooting of Rob Celis. He's 4 out of 7 from the field. Through bumps, through contact, just the stability to be able to get that balance enough to get a decent shot.
Celis completes the 3-point play. 58-46. 12-point lead para dito sa Nueva Ecija. Galang drops his head down, but a foul will be whistled against the Rice Vanguards.
Clearly in that situation, the plan was to try and set up a 3-pointer for Ino Comboy. So that drive by Ethan Galang ending up with the 2-foot jump stop at the low block really was to set up that corner drift by Ino Comboy, which never happened because there was a foul.
June Manso has 3 fouls. Ethan Galang, ball gets stolen away by JV Marcelino. Give and go by the Twins. And JV scores.
Sobrang unselfish nitong mga ng Twins na to eh.
Palagay ko kahit nakapikit,
Oo.
Mag-target pa din yung mga pasa nila eh.
Kahit yata may sipon sila, nagkakaamuyan.
Oo.
Ganun eh.
Battle for the rebound ends up with Nueva Ecija. Villarias. Transition free is good!
And I'd like to borrow the line of Sedelf in that game in Pasay. This time around, I'd say, I don't think the Rice Vanguards could do anything wrong.
This is the biggest lead at 17 points. One and done by Mindoro.
And it's not like the Tamaros are just standing around. They're trying to get stops, but
Double foul against Gamalinda and Macalone. Jostling for position there.
tsaka gandahan dito, yun, kita mo na bumagsak si Bam Bam at tsaka si Will, pero you know.
Play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet. Marcelino Twins providing some magic here in transition.
Sino naman ang babantay mo in that situation? The Twins plus Robbie Celis on a 3 versus 1. Who do you guard?
JV. Celis. No handoff, so he opts to go right at Brandre Bienes. Bienes will be called for that foul.
Bienes is, you know, he's done everything against Rob Celis. But minsan, you just have so much talent against the guy that you're guarding that it's almost unfair.
Robbie Celis, 3-time MPBL All-Star, 2-time All-MPBL second team. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
12 and 2 scoring so far this quarter. Of course, it's been tough to score to start the third for the Tamaraw. Somebody's got to be the spark here for, hopefully it's this guy right here.
But that fadeaway jumper does not work. JV.
Oh,
Turns the corner. Not much resistance to the defense of Mindoro there. This is ballooned to 21.
Little rip screen from Robbie Celis to a very forceful driver in Marcelino.
Manzo gets it over the stingy defense of JV Marcelino.
7 points, June Manzo.
But an uphill climb para dito sa Mindoro, down by 19. Sidestep, beauty! Basket and one para kay JC. Oh boy.
Yeah. Klase, di ba? Dinipensahan ba? Yes, dinipensahan. Hindi naman hinayaan eh, pero talagang, sabi mo nga, sidestep beauty.
This is simply poetry in motion. JC Marcelino. And earlier, we saw JV. Meanwhile, let's check in with Mika Abisamis.
We are not very used to the Rice Vanguards wearing green. This is actually a tribute to the many farmers they have here in Palayan City. But if you will remember, this was actually their original color pre-blue jerseys. This color also speaks of how refreshing it has been for the players and coaches to have this champion team culture they are maintaining. Coach Don speaks well of his new acquisitions. The Twins, Jam, Tosi, Maraytay, all have been very effective already in less than 5 games. Despite their wins, Coach Don feels like this is not yet the best basketball, especially if they are aiming for the top spot in the North. For now, they have to keep respecting Mindoro. They have the pieces. Ken, Coach Mike?
That's a nice reminder from Mika. Oo nga, no? Dati nga, they were sporting that green jerseys.
Dami ko natututunan sa mga report ni Mika.
Oo, kaya
Hindi ko alam na green pala yun dati.
Oo. That was prior to the pandemic, Coach
Prior
Mike.
to the pandemic, alright. Although when I think of the Rice Vanguards, I always think of that dark navy blue palette. That's nice.
And I think Tonino Gonzaga was part of that team.
Oh, yeah.
Di ba?
Right.
Jai Reyes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And for a time, I think they were coached by Coach Charles Chu during that time, di ba?
Okay, yeah. So there are certain details that I don't recall anymore. But I do recall him, Mika, mentioning about the Rice Vanguards, Coach Don Dula, understanding that they haven't played their best basketball yet if they wanna be ending the top of the division.
And that's really scary.
Yes.
For the opposing teams. Bam Bam Gamalinda forcing his way inside. 10 points for the former San Beda Red Lion.
And then that just shows, I guess, Coach Don Dula's respect for the other teams that have also shored up their lineup. I mean, you have Pasay is better this year because of the guards that they got. Abra definitely is up in there. And so maraming teams na nagpalakas din in the hope of just like them ending up with a championship this year.
Alam mo, yung North Division na yan, karambola yan, Coach Mike eh. Nueva Ecija, Pangasinan, certainly part of that mix.
Yeah. And yung Pampanga, it's not the same as how they were with Balti and Encho and the rest of the guys, but they will definitely compete. You saw that in their last win, and definitely Archie and Jeff Binuya, they got things in mind also in store for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
And it's a certainty, Coach Mike, na they have something to prove as the defending champions. As we would like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
In the same way that Coach Rodney Santos also has a thing to prove.
This is a great pass leading to this transition bucket by Ino Comboy. 10 points for the former Far Eastern University standout. This lead chopped down to 18 points.
Doing better on the fast break too. They now have a 10 points against the 9 of Nueva Ecija in that department. A really good leak out by Ino Comboy. Understood he had to let that defense of a JB fly by before he finished to the cup.
And Ino Comboy trying to lead the comeback here para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws. It's not gonna be easy. Nueva Ecija humming on both ends. Now we will pause for a break. Nueva Ecija still ahead comfortably here, 72-54. Robbie Celis in that game against Manila. Sensational performance, 19 points, 7 rebounds. The shooting splits, really good. And here, 13 points. Again, efficient shooting from the field and perfect from the line, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and makita mo lang yung basket, but you have to understand the shot selection. And he hasn't forced any shot. I mean, this shot that he made, he only took that because he heard a whistle. So that still would be a good shot.
At dahil dyan, abante sila dito ng 18 points. Skip pass. JC, catch and shoot free. Ball tap to Byron Villarias. No hesitation, off the heel. Inigo, scanning the floor. Pulls up. Three-pointer, no. Rebound, Robbie Celis. 13-5 for the former NU Bulldog. JC will pull it back out. Crisp passing, but Celis left it short. Inigo trying to navigate through the defense. High off the glass, wala pa din. Ino Comboy. They go to the corner. Finally, a free converted there by Axel Inigo.
Very patient search by the Tamaraws for the best shot available. You know what's in there at the top? Kind of was thinking, am I gonna make this a shot attempt? But I understood, meron depensa sa harapan ko. I got Axel in the corner. That's the better shot. And so he gave it up for Axel. And Axel, being one of the really good three-point shooters of the team, knocked it down from there.
8 points from Axel Inigo.
Yeah. But if you go back a few more portions of that last possession for Mindoro Tamaraos on that drive by Axel Inigo. You can already tell the defensive philosophy of the Rice Vanguards. They are not allowing a straight line drive with your strong hand. You want to drive, you got to drive with your left hand.
Oh! Look at this! A rim rocker from Christian Manaytay!
Oh my! I told you about Christian Manaytay. He is just a bundle of energy. Not just on the defensive side of the floor, he just scores on different ways, including that emphatic finish to the rim. Look at this one right here. Good ball movement.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet. The find, Tosi to Manaytay. The hammer there to the delight of the Nueva Ecijanos.
If that's not unselfishness on the side of Tosi Tancinco, and I don't know what is. Tosi is really good from the outside and the perimeter. He could have taken that shot, but he understood, you gotta find another guy and a teammate that's freer than me. You saw that dive by Christian Manaytay. You gotta reward the big man with that cut.
Coach, may kakapasok lang ni Tosi. This is his first appearance
That's right.
in this ball game.
Pero in the very first game in Pangasinan, Tosi was the best player of the game. He was shooting the lights out of Pangasinan in that game.
And which goes to show you how deep this roster is for
Agree.
Coach Don Dulay.
Oh. Hindi mo masasabing luxury kasi these guys are never content with what they have. And so they just keep grinding every time, speaking of the Rice Vanguards.
Shot clock violation called against Mindoro. It was a wild shot from Jonas Tibayan under the rest.
And dahil na naman yun sa depensa ng Rice Vanguards.
Pulyar. They go to the left side. Jesper Ayaay. Swing pass. Wilson attacks the closeout. Almost. But he will shoot to the line for 2 free throws.
And John Wilson, the veteran scorer that he is, I think he's the lone 2,000-point member, no? If I recall correctly. You know, he's just seen almost every defense there is. Long closeouts, you know, secondary defender or help defender coming in on a drive. And he just knows how to finish.
Decorated career here in the MPBL. John Wilson, 2019 MPBL champion, 2020 regular season most valuable player. A lot of accolades for the former Jose Rizal University standout. And also was once an MVP in the NCAA back in season 85.
Yes. The hope really is for Axel and the rest of the guys to score in bunches here. Which they are very much capable of doing. They just gotta stay patient.
Bienes,
There you
pumihit,
go.
gets it.
Katulad nga sabi kanina, you have to play to your strength. I mean, that's the strength of Jeff Bienes, putting the ball on the floor, trying to create contact and finish in the paint. He can shoot the threes as well.
7 points for Ray Bienes.
Oh, that's a travel. That always gets Jasper Ayay. The jab left and drive middle. If by the time that you try and put the ball on the floor, you would have already lifted your pivot foot. That's a travel.
Still a 17-point lead for Nueva Ecija. Ramirez, one-on-one against Tosi. RJ, kick out. Tibayan drives. Turnaround, one-hander does not work.
Good effort.
Tibayan intercepts it. Ramirez, his own version of a floater. Mintes. Numbers here for Nueva Ecija. The lob, Wilson to Tancinco.
Reversal of roles right now. Kanina, pumapasa ng assist in the open guy, Tosi Tancinco. This time, he's the recipient of a good pass from John Wilson.
48 seconds remaining in the third. Inigo stops on a spot and gets bumped out of position by JC Cuellar.
Don't you just love that matchup? Two really good guards, Axel and JC Cuellar. Axel, you know, he's got moves offensively. He knows how to put the ball on the floor and create. And JC, he understands how to stop you. So, gandang battle yan between these two guards.
Oh, pero may challenge tayo from Nueva Ecija. Coach Don Dulay not agreeing with the call. We'll pause for break. We'll return for the result of the challenge, the closeout by JC Cullar on that Inigo jumper. Free throw good for Axel, former Adamson Falcon, also played for FEU. Not sure kung nag-abot sila ni Achi sa FEU. I think
Alam mo, sure ako makakasagot niyan? Si Javi.
si Javi.
Si Javi.
Sige, Javi. May mga kami ng tidbits ulit.
Si Javi. Talaga makasagot ni Javi.
78-61. Nakasona dito ang Mindoro.
Yeah.
Skip pass. Wilson. Quick release is good.
You do the zone because you want to test their three-point shooting. Or the outside shooting for that matter. That's the first one, it went in.
And, 8 out of 15 ang Nueva Ecija from that distance. Cullar recovers and scores over Jay Utok. Lead has ballooned now to 22, 83-61 late here in quarter number 3. Inigo in trouble. And he loses it. Still enough time for Nueva Ecija, 2.3 seconds. Cullar getting ahead of steam. Heaves it.
Oh.
Got out a good line, but off the mark. And Nueva Ecija led by 9 points at the half. They outscore the Mindoro Tamaraws by 13 here as they took control of this ball game here in the third quarter. Christian Manaytay, 15 points. Almost a perfect shooting from the field. And making both of his attempts from long distance. And this dunk sending this Nueva Ecijano crowd into a frenzy. And at the end of the third quarter, labang ang Nueva Ecija, 83-61.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Nahati mo, si Manny!
All right, we're just about to start the fourth quarter. sa laban ng Mindoro at Nueva Ecija. Christian Manaytay, breakout performance for the Rice Vanguards. 5 on the floor for Coach Don. Tosi Tancinco, JC Culyar, Christian Manaytay, John Wilson, and Jesper Ayaay. Wilson, automatic from that distance. Quarter scoring po natin. Again, nakita natin, no? Nueva Ecija, +8 in the first quarter, and then that decisive third. Outscoring nga itong Mindoro by 13, 30-17. That's why they have this commanding 24-point lead. Comboy, three-pointer.
Yep. That was a good shot. I was gonna say that somehow in the past 2 games, the Rice Vanguards have that propensity of scoring roughly about the 30-point area. In their last game, they scored, what, 38, 39 points?
The three-pointers have been falling for the Rice Vanguards. Their 9th conversion. 9 out of 17.
Yeah. Tell you what the Tamaraws have done good in the third quarter. They've limited their turnovers. That's a good thing to me. But they couldn't make shots on the other end in as much as a flurry of shots were made by the Rice Vanguards.
This three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. Jesper Ayaay also breaking out of his funk. 12 points, 3 three-pointers. Manzo, kick out, Comboy. Going up against Tancinco. Manzo, mapuputokan siya dito ng 24.
Didn't notice the clock. Ashton Andrews, I don't think he was in the third quarter, right? The rotation, as you see the coaching staff right there. Coach Rodney, Coach EJ File. I guess that was Coach Murala, or one of the staff of assistants of Coach Rodney. They've been trying to find a way really to stop the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. They've limited their mistakes in the third, but again, yung sunod-sunod na puntos at atake nitong iba-ibang players para dito sa Rice Vanguards made it tough to stop them.
Ayaay sends it to JC Culyar. Short on the free. Rare miss from that distance para dito sa Nueva Ecija. Gamalinda out of control, lost his balance. And duty foul given up by Joseph Sedorifa.
Sedorifa made that stop because he wanted to assist Bam Gamalinda in that situation. Had to give that up. Here we go.
All right, the homegrown John Arenas. Actually, Don Arenas. Getting some action here in front of the Nueva Ecija crowd.
That's one of the beauty of the MPBL. We talked about it in the previous game also. Yung opportunity binibigay mo sa mga homegrown just like Arenas. And if you're that guy, you just really gotta grab it.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Perez getting some burn here for the Mindoro Tamaraws. Culyar probing. Manaytay, swing pass. Tancinco off the mark. John Wilson trying to get that ball. It ends up with Mindoro. Comboy guarded by Tosi. One-on-one. Comboy. He loves this matchup.
Yeah.
The cross, the pass, Natada. Gamalinda up top. Shoots the three, no good. Perez tracks it down for Mindoro. Approaching the 7-minute mark of quarter number 4. Comboy, long distance three, no good. Wilson tried to hold down that rebound, but Andrews, again, the hustle, despite their team losing big here by 27. Manaytay was called for that foul. Tyron Chan, one of the acquisitions in the offseason, will get some playing time here for Coach Don Dulay.
Yeah, and Alvin Tanyada of the Muntinlupa Cagers coaching staff actually messaged me as I was mentioning about the coaches of the Mindoro Tamaraos, he said the one that was in there earlier was Coach Ray Alaw, the father of Fumor Alaw and Coach Ernest Alaw. There you go. Yeah. And the Alaw family, to my understanding, really have a good background when it comes to basketball. So no surprises that they are pretty much here in this Mindoro team coaching staff. I think one of the kids also, I think, if I recall, UST ba, parang ganun. That's where he plays. A lot of good basketball in that family, kid.
JC Culyar whips a pass to Tosi Tancinco. High arcing three is good.
High arcing three is good, and I saw Mika pointing to someone on that made three. I think scorer yata yung tinuro, no, to count that three. She made sure you count that three.
Lead up to 28. Comboy, left-handed layup. Wala. Nice Vanguards. Again, another amazing
good skip
shooting display. Arenas, Mintes. Natada, tracks it down para dito sa Mindoro. Perez, straight line, drive to the hoop. The spin and the layup.
Good move by Perez. Going middle and spinning the baseline side. Ashton Andrews.
Look out. Ashton Andrews with a through-handed slam.
Boy, don't you just love the athleticism being full display here for Ashton Andrews.
And you could really sense yung mentality niya, no? He's not even bothered by the lead. Plays really hard.
Oh. And you love that. Lalo for newcomers, yung mga bago. What a move.
MJ Perez bouncing it to Natada. Homeboy. The jelly on that layup, but too much sauce. Ashton Andrews sa ilalim. Ball ends up with JC Culyar. Tancinco strides down the lane and scores! Galang able to counter on the other side, but Mindoro cannot afford to exchange baskets here. Past the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Culyar challenging Andrews and draws a foul. The assist of the game is brought to you by 1xBet. Tosi Tancinco able to elude Ino Comboy. So JC Culyar, former Benilde Blazer, also played for University of the East prior to transferring to Coach Charles Chu. Meanwhile, let's check in with Mika Abesamis.
Sabi ni Coach Don Dulay, I like Tosi because I have always been fond of stretch fours. Plus, Tosi is a great floor spacer. He understands the depth of this team. Sabi naman ni Tosi, nahirapan siya to find that right spot in a team, but Coach Don has made it easier for him to find his way home. This, the Nueva Ecija Coliseum, is his home. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. And you know, Tosi had that stellar season when he played for Zamboanga, and he's trying to bring that versatility dito sa panig ng Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. They're still in total command here. We have a timeout, 4 minutes and 16 seconds left. Abante sila dito ng 22 points.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas, 50 ka.
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Our fan of the game brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. And Nueva Ecija, unless itong Mindoro mounts an improbable comeback here, Eh, mukhang madedepensahan ulit nila ang kanilang home turf dito in front of their always loyal fans, no? Ever since. No, it's always a pleasure for us to travel here from Manila all the way to Palayan City.
And yung yung pagbiyahe mo dito and the quality of games that you're getting, you just, apart from the trip going here, you just enjoy the games as well. And you know who else is enjoying the games? My beloved Muntinlupa Cagers. The team is watching right now. Domaric Matellano, the Iceman of the Cagers. Of course, I think Coach Mark Dandan is part of that coaching staff. And so, good luck to you boys. I'm rooting for you, being from Muntinlupa. Good luck to our season, guys.
Sa April, no? Yung first game nila.
Yep,
So,
April.
abang-abang yan para dito sa Muntinlupa.
I just wish there'd be a home game again in Muntinlupa.
Ayan.
Sana magkaroon na, no?
Tingnan natin. Ethan Galang to Ashton Andrews. Still playing hard despite this big deficit.
Pero yan ang importante, yung mga minutes na ganito that, the game's already decided, you're down pretty huge. You still gotta go show your stuff. This is an opportunity to showcase, the kind of player that you are, despite the situation.
Mayor Viandre and Sir Bong Cuevas certainly happy that their homegrown player is on the board.
Yep.
Dondon Arenas with that 3-point conversion. And here's another opportunity for him to score. Goes down the lane, draws a foul. 2 more free throws. Nasa loob na rin, no? Si Bobby Balucanag, who hails from Lupao, Nueva Ecija. He had that long layoff from that injury.
Right.
And it's good to see him back dito sa MPBL.
A couple of really good stories as well here for Nueva Ecija, starting off with Arenas.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Arenas being a representative of Nueva Ecija as well. Talagang he's just making the most of this opportunity presented to him, and I love to see Bobby Balucanag, being back. After all, him playing alongside Billy Robles, that's gonna be special to me, because those guys are really tough wingmen that have strong body to finish, even in fast break.
And binanggit mo na rin, no? Si Billy Ray Robles still rounding out the form. Has played sparingly so far for Coach Don, but you could really expect him to make major contributions down the road para dito sa Nueva Ecija.
I think not just for those two guys. Coach Don Dula expects everyone in the Rice Bangers to be doing that in the same way that Coach Rodney Santos expects the same from the Tamaraws.
And Nueva Ecija about to break the century mark for the second consecutive time.
There you go.
Here we go. 101-71. Last 2 minutes of the ball game.
And Bobby Balucanag gets them to the century mark with that undergoal stab from Tosi Tancinco.
Andrews continues to play and continues to compete.
You love that. I mean, if there are coaches, scouts here looking for players, I don't know if he's eligible for collegiate. You love his energy. You love his attitude. He's not complaining. He's not getting so much touches. He has to work for his possessions. And he has to defend against every guy that's trying to make a basket the other end. There's just, pretty solid guy here in Ashton Andrews.
Coach Mike, at the top of the coverage, we mentioned for Mindoro, the different iterations of this team. We saw them beat Binyan on their home floor. Natalo nga sila sa Caloocan, and here, this impending blowout loss against Nueva Ecija. And moving forward, ano sa tingin mo yung mga pwede pa nilang ayusin dito, no? Because they are pretty much a capable team under Coach Rodney Santos.
Well, first off, I think it's really just a tough proposition to be going up against the Rice Vanguards. These guys are built on a really good foundation, have been together for quite a while. Well, most of them have. And, samantalang itong Mindoro Tamaraws, I don't think matagal na sila magkakasama because I think the only remnant from last year would be Ken Bono, if I'm not mistaken. Paul Desiderio is no longer here. And so a lot of changes in personality and personnel. The chemistry has to be built. The important thing, the low-hanging fruits to me would be to try and finish strong quarters. I mean, you just can't compete in quarter number 1 and just let go in quarter number 2. You got to compete on every quarter, so you give yourselves a fighting chance come the end of the game.
And alam mo, no, yung malaking run nung Nueva Ecija in the third quarter, that really spelled the difference because at the half, they were just separated by 9 points. Nueva Ecija was up 53-44. And then once the Rice Vanguards kicked up a notch yung kanilang opensiba dito, and Mindoros was just helpless. Again, our beloved commissioner, Kenneth Duremdes, and our head of operations, Emer Oreta. And boy, this season has produced a lot of classics already. That Batangas Rizal, that half-court game winner by ito si Kiano Caballero.
Caballero, right?
And you rarely see Coach Kenneth go up and really celebrate that kind of... As we see here, Tyron Chan joining the fray, hits the basket plus a foul.
Hinilamusan pa ni Ryan Costello. After all, magkasama yung matagal na yan sa Pasig before. Early on, that shovel fast, feeding Chan right there. And he's gonna knock down that shot. Understand the closeout. He understand the opportunity to score. That's Tyrone. And much as this game is not gonna end, I'd like to thank Karpov Pascual and Pati Pascual for taking care of our Riley in school, picking him up for practice. We're here right now attending to these games.
Also shout out, happy birthday to one of the bouncers here in the MPBL, Michael Olequino. And Nueva Ecija will just dribble out the clock here.
No more.
What a resounding victory for them over a game, Mindoro Tamaraws.
Yeah. An important thing here is you barely saw action from the Twins. You only saw them for 12 and 15 minutes. Robbie played for 15. Will Macaloni played for 16. Villarreal played for 15. Just almost equal distribution of minutes for everyone, giving everyone a chance to show off their stuff here in the Nueva Ecija game.
Another successful defense on their home turf. The Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards improved to 4 wins, no losses. And the Nueva Ecijanos will go home happy.
Alam mo kung sino masaya pang Nueva Ecijano na uuwi? Si Sir Daryl Conanan, one of the staunch supporters of the Rice Vanguards.
Our best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet. Christian Manaytay, his coming out party in today's ball game. 15 points, 5 rebounds, doing it on both sides, inside and out. That thunderous slam, bringing the fight out of the Mindoro Tamaraws.
Tuwan-tuwa si Sir Darius Cunanan niya ng Rice Vanguard supporter.
Final score po natin, 72 for the Mindoro Tamaraws and 104 for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Mindoro will drop down to 1-3. It's back to the drawing board for the Nueva Ecija. A lot of games left, obviously. Next game, they will go up against Val City Magic in Bangued. And now let's turn you over to Mika Abisabis.
Maraming salamat. Kasama ko nga ngayon ang best player of this game. Walang iba kundi si Christian Manaytay na nakakuha ng una niyang best player dito sa MPBL. Alam mo, napakaraming gumawa. Nakita mo naman lahat ng teammates mo. It was really a collective effort. Pero isa ka sa umangat sa opensa. You ended with 15 points tapos 2 sa 3. Kamusta ka pagkatapos ng larong ito?
Okay naman. Ginawa ko lang naman yung kailangan gawin. Magandang bagay din na nakapag-prepare kami ng maayos kasi yung Mindoro hindi madali kalaban. So we really prepared as much as possible. So we got the outcome that we want.
Maraming salamat na pag-usapan mo yung preparation. So far, anong nagugustuhan mo sa sistema ni Coach Don sa practices?
The system is madali lang siyang i-run. Kaya malaking bagay din yung mga coaches kasi binibigyan nila kami ng confidence to do the things that we want to do as long as it's within the system.
Thank you very much, Christian. You will have a game in Abra on Saturday. Why don't you invite the Nueva Ecijanos to support you over there?
iniimbitahan ko mga Nueva Ecija para manood sa Abra namin na laro. Sana supportahan nyo kami. Thank you sa support na binigay nyo sa amin ngayon. Thank you.
Meron ka pa ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan, Christian?
Binabati ko yung pamilya ko sa Ross City Capiz. Binabati ko din yung mga tropa ko nandito sa Manila and yun lang.
Alright, maraming salamat once again. Christian Managitay is brought to you by 1xBet. Ken and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. And congratulations to the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Our games tomorrow will be at the Cuneta Astrodome. We have Caloocan Batang Kangkalu versus the One Bataan Risers, followed by the Marikina Shoemasters. They will take on the Val City Magic. And to cap things off, the Pasay Voyagers will defend their home turf. They will go up against the Manila Batang Quiapo. And that's gonna do it for our coverage for today. On behalf of Coach Mike Perez and Miss Mika Abisamis and our hard-working production crew, ako po si Ken Pangilinan. Maraming salamat. This is the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.